Tank Davis in the Meek Mill controversy. Hello, fight fans. This is Coach Nathan of NS Champ 7-part boxing series at nschamp7.com, and that's the title of my recap of what went down this past Saturday night at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. on the PBC boxing card that featured world champions Gervonta Tank Davis, two-time world champion Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, and rising welterweight contender Jerron Boots Ennis. Now, I predicted in my preview an exciting night of boxing, and I expected at least one more knockout. Andre did what was expected in dominating a tough and always game but overmatched Damon Nicholson over 10 rounds for a unanimous decision. Now, after this, it would be nice to see Andre finally get a career-defining mega money matchup against either Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, Jamal Charlo, or the winner of the Plant Benavidez fight happening later this spring. Boots Ennis did the best he could against the safety-first, ever-moving, ever-running, and ever-clinching Ukrainian contender Karen Chudhadzian, who surprisingly landed several good counter shots throughout the fight. His whole strategy appeared to be just going the distance, finally fighting back somewhat in the 12th and final round. This guy looks like he would be very successful touring the world, giving clinics, teaching young guys how to survive in a boxing ring. Now, this brings us to the main event of the evening, which also it ended how I predicted it in my preview as well. Davis versus Garcia, it started off as somewhat of a chess match in the ring, heating up around the 6th round. In the 8th round, with the action hot and heavy, the fight was halted for about a minute due to what turned out to be a disturbance involving acclaimed Philly rapper Meek Mill, who came to the fight to cheer his friends, Tank and Boots Ennis, who's also from Philly. Now, after the match resumed, Davis landed a hard straight left, which caused Garcia's whole body to dip toward the canvas, although he didn't go all the way down. Then he followed up with some hard lefts and rights, which caused Garcia to not be able to answer the bell for the 9th round. Now, two noteworthy things about this knockout, folks. First, Gervonta set it up with feints, different defensive looks, all the while timing his opponent's moves. Now, that's using your boxing IQ, rather than just running out there trying to bum rush the opponent, a.k.a. Joe Frazier back in the day. The second point, Hector didn't just quit on his stool as alluded to by some of the ringside observers. Those were some hard shots he took. And remember, folks, a knockout separates you from your senses. And vision being one of those senses, I believe him when Hector said he couldn't see between rounds. So to push him out there for the 9th round, he would have just continued to take hard punches from a hard puncher, of which he couldn't see the punches coming. Now, the victory sets up a long-awaited, much-anticipated matchup between Ryan Garcia, which is expected sometime in April. Now, that's if there's no personal or legal setbacks in the near future, as Tank has an upcoming hit-and-run case in about another week or two. Tank Davis is now 28-0 with 26 knockouts. Now, that's over a 90% knockout ratio in all of his wins. Now, concerning the outside ring disturbance in the 8th round, it turns out that Meek Mill got into a verbal altercation with former 2008 Olympian and former world featherweight champ Gary Russell Jr., who was at the fight with his brothers to support Davis's opponent, Hector Luis Garcia. Meek stated afterward that he didn't mean to cause a scene. He treated everyone with respect and allowed himself to be peacefully escorted out of the arena. So nothing more than a little pushing and shoving over a war of words between the two entourages. Now, I'm going to end this on a coach's perspective, folks. After seeing Meek Mill hit the heavy bag on some footage he posted on social media, even a sparring session with Gary Russell Jr., it would probably end in the same result as if he tried to rob a well-armored Brinks truck with just a ski mask and a butcher knife. if not worse. So, that's my take on the situation, folks. But don't forget, for elite boxing instruction, elite boxing analysis, and elite boxing philosophy, check me out and subscribe to NS Champ 7-part boxing series at nschamp7.com. And as always, I will see you the next main event.